Let's talk about if you should get into crypto mining, when to buy the GPUs, when to buy the ASICs, and what to do. I want to show you guys a couple of these cars though, here at the Bentley dealership. Beautiful, beautiful cars. And I have my car in the shop right now. And one of the things these newer iterations definitely put a smile on my face. So let's go over here by the Christmas tree. Show you guys these cars here. Really like that gray one. Got a convertible out there. So in regards to cryptocurrency mining, and some of this is going to be a little bit repetitive if you guys were following me last cycle. So there's a couple things, and also this cycle, the miner capitulation is going to be way worse. We're already seeing it be way worse, partially because of Ethereum's change to proof of stake. So you got a lot of extra GPUs trying to head for greener pastures, somewhere where they can mine Monero, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum Proof of Work Fork, and a few other offerings and stuff like that. So you got a lot of GPUs fighting over kind of limited financial gain, and then you have power costs and stuff going up around the world. Energy costs are going up, and it's just very tough for a lot of GPUs out there to make a buck into being an equitable situation. So, and this is just in general in the crypto cycles, but especially for this one, it is extra bad. So then you have the chip shortages, whether that be affecting the GPU market, whether that be affecting the ASIC market. And then it's like, well, where should you kind of put your efforts? Should you just put it in DeFi? Should you put it in cryptocurrency mining? Is this a viable opportunity? Are some of the renewable energies, is that going to be a viable option to mine, with solar panels and, battery systems and all that kind of stuff? These are my thoughts on it. So the cryptocurrency mining is not going to go away, because that is inherently where the value comes from energy cost, from computing power. That is where the original value is inserted into the crypto market. So that is not going to go away. Even if there is this continued pressure to get rid of proof of work mining or regulation around proof of work mining, it is not going to go away. Now, what's going to end up happening is a lot of these players are going to get washed out, and a lot of places who were able to obtain money and financing and were building these huge farms and stuff like that, they're just going to get flushed out. So there's going to be a lot of equipment that's going to hit the market, and I feel like this drawdown is going to last extra long. There's going to be a lot of miners that are going to get pressed out, and the pressure is going to become immense with each month that passes by where the mining is unprofitable because of the power cost. It is going to get that much worse, and unless they can find lenders to basically float the cost and keep these mining operations sustainable and continue to go on, they're just going to have to file for bankruptcy. So when should you start looking for mining equipment if you're going to do it, and should you do it? So in my opinion, you have to have 4 cents a kilowatt hour power or less to even attempt it. And you basically, you benefit from the economies of scale, but you actually suffer from it as well, because if you let's just, for instance, like if you're able to buy in bulk, you're able to get a better pricing on like equipment, whether that be GPUs or ASICs or whatever you're doing. But the more GPUs you have, the more energy it's going to take and the more you're going to have to worry about venting that extra heat, and you have these maintenance issues, and you have to buy more racks, and you need these ladders, and you need scaffolding, and you need people that can kind of maintain these. It's just not a one-person job. You need multiple people, so on and so forth. So it just becomes this like bigger and bigger problem where your expenses become greater. It's kind of like if you're selling on eBay or you're selling on Amazon and you're fulfilling the stuff yourself, and then if your volumes get so high that it's like, okay, I'm going to have to hire more people, or I'm going to have to buy forklifts, I'm going to have to buy this or that, or I need these people here. Your issues become more and more and more. And same thing with the mining. You run into more and more problems trying to operate on that level. So should you get into it? First and foremost, if you can't get 4 cents a kilowatt hour power or less, do not attempt it. When should you try to scale up on it if you're going to do it? About a year from now, because there's going to be equipment on the market. A lot of people are going to get washed out and stuff like that. It's going to be basically a year from now, and that's when there's going to be opportunities to get into it. And the thing is, with the mining, you have to time it the same that you have to time it the same as that you would time it if you were just going to buy in, essentially, and just buy the crypto and hold it or do different things with it. I think a better opportunity is, if you're going to do it, that you don't scale up on the mining per se, like huge, that you do it partial mining, and you kind of diversify between like some of the ASIC related stuff and some of the GPU related stuff. And then you also like do a lot of stuff with DeFi, and then you integrate those two kind of mechanisms. And then maybe as another thing that you could do is that this whole mining operation is to kind of furnish coins potentially that you're selling through an ATM network or something like that, so you're earning a spread on it. That gets a little bit convoluted of like when you bought that coin and when you're selling it, so that becomes more complex the bigger you get. But on a small scale, somebody could mine if their power was reduced, or you're in a situation with an apartment where you had free power, and you could mine more for like out of a hobby situation, and to get kind of quote unquote clean coins that didn't come through a cryptocurrency exchange. And there's a benefit to that because of all this KYC. All this KYC stuff is just a honeypot for hackers and all that kind of stuff. So that being said, I would not even attempt it. The greener pasture is going to be in the DeFi space, in my opinion, because you don't have the buildup. You have risk, but you don't have your money injected in all this equipment, and you can get in and get out of that way quicker than you can if you're, got this huge building, you're buying all this industrial power, and you've got all this equipment that you have to offload if things go south or the situation changes. So, in my experience, that really seems to be that it's going to play true. I don't see that there's going to be no GPU mining in the future and stuff like that. There's still going to be stuff that's going to be GPU mined, whether that's Monero, Ethereum Classic, and some other offerings. Zcash right now seems to be still on proof of work, but they act like they were going to go to proof of stake. So personally, I feel like that some of the proof of stake, there's advantages and disadvantages. It devalues the cryptocurrency because the value, things that are hard to get, become more valuable by virtue of what you spent to get into it. And so people are more pot committed, and that's what it took to get into it, and that's what it took to obtain it. And when you're using all this energy that costs a certain amount, and all the computing hardware and everything that went into it, there's this like conceived notion that it's worth that much, just like with gold or silver. It all tracks back to energy cost. It tracks back to diesel fuel. It tracks back to the equipment. What does it cost to mine this? Is it profitable? If it's not profitable, they shut the mine down. Same thing with cryptocurrency. If it's not profitable, they shut the mine down. So at the end of the day, I don't even think you should be even thinking about getting into crypto mining for another year at least, and then check out the market, do the calculations, and kind of see where you're at. But if you don't have 4 cents a kilowatt hour power or less, forget about it. You're better off in the DeFi space, which is going to be a continued area that there is going to be money to be had there. So anyway, guys, hopefully that helps you and maybe clears up some misconceptions, because I see a lot of people trying to mine at 10 cents a kilowatt hour power, 12 cents a kilowatt hour power, 15 cents. No way. No way. You won't make it through the bear market. You won't make it. So anyway, guys, hopefully that helps. Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter, Hive, DTube, everywhere. See you guys.